I have my left hand is right, or I think it is mirrored. Like right on the board, just to test. All right, this bottom one says hello. That one says ole. Could you just write backwards the whole time?
No, I don't. We're live
Okay,
on YouTube.
we are live. Yeah, we're live now.
But I'm going to switch the camera around.
Yeah, we can start with our general banter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, before we write on the whiteboard.
Yeah, before we
There's
whiteboard.
the view there.
I think on the Facebook as well. Here we are. We're going. We're going.
Yeah, we're going to need your computer open for that, because just in case people comment. We were not late.
Yeah, we were not late, so good.
By the way.
I guess we'll have to just check that every once in a while to see. And
Ooh, that is a reflective surface, this shiny box that we have here.
it's true. Very shiny.
So, how you doing, Mark?
It's okay. I'm doing well. It's been a good week. It's mid-May.
Mid-May?
So,
May 17th?
May 17th.
Yeah.
Mid-May.
We
it's been
were
good.
keeping up with the same shirt.
Yeah, if you zoom in, right, I think maybe, like, my dots are much bigger because...
Your dots are bigger, but I do have dots.
I won the dot award, so I get to wear the bigger dots.
Yeah, Mark has bigger dots.
I have bigger dots today, but
Speaking of-
it's okay if you have small dots. Yeah,
It is okay if you have small...
Yeah, small dots on your shirt.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. Actually, I told my kids about the sarcasm today.
Ah,
Yeah,
your kids.
Yeah, my student. Oh yes, yeah. I always say my kids.
I always call them kids.
My
too.
students.
All
right?
students are kids.
All students, right?
All students are kids.
But yeah, it's funny. In English, often people say what they don't mean, or they're joking,
Sarcastic.
sarcastic. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, you look
Yeah.
really handsome today.
You see, he doesn't think I'm handsome. Not even true. But
Heyo, live example.
live
right
example, right? It's good.
there. Mark has some news.
Yeah, I do have some news. I went on a really nice vacation last week. I went to a place where they have delicious food. I went to a place where I got to go to the onsen.
Onsen, hot spring.
Hot spring. Yeah, so it was a beautiful place to go on vacation, called Japan, right?
Japan.
Japan. Or if you know Kyushu, it's a place in southern Japan, right? Actually near Seoul, or near Seoul, Busan. If you go straight down from Korea, that's the area I was in Japan. So from Busan, right? You Koreans out there, if you go from Busan, you can take a ferry down to Japan, and you will go to a place called Kyushu.
Kyushu.
We saw many Koreans there. Right, my fiance and I saw many Koreans.
My what?
My fiance,
Oh, because on the last live video, she was your friend.
so it's really escalated quickly.
Wow.
It's gone from friend to girlfriend.
Straight from friend to
Yeah.
fiance.
And then last week, I gave her a ring.
Not me, but
Yeah.
this is a ring.
I would have given him the ring, but his wife would be very angry. Right?
My wife would be angry.
Yeah, if I proposed to him, his wife would be very, very angry. So,
Yeah, I would be a little bit surprised.
a little surprised.
Yeah, I would be.
Would you
a
say
little
yes?
No,
Would you?
I would not. I wouldn't have said yes.
Yeah, we don't have the chemistry we need.
No,
Right?
even though we do wear matching shirts
Yeah,
most of the time.
that's the first step, right?
First step.
That's the first step. But yeah, no. But I picked my fiance. I gave her the ring, and she said yes. Yeah. So someday I'll be lucky like Matt and have my own ring, right?
I will only say nice things because I know my
Yeah.
wife will be watching this
Yeah.
at some point later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So.
marriage is wonderful.
Right. See that wasn't sarcastic, right?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Wasn't sarcastic, right? So yeah. So that's the big news coming out of my life.
Yeah, Mark went
so-
to Japan.
Yeah.
Got engaged.
Got engaged. Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
much
it. That's it. But yeah, still busy month so far. Usually my months are just watching Netflix and working. So
But now it's,
exciting month.
yeah, now you're getting married. So
Now, yeah, it's coming in the future.
lots to
Yeah.
do, lots to do.
Lots to do.
I would say the only other
Yeah.
thing that we need to announce is the barbecue. You can see, you can see
Yeah.
here. We're having a barbecue party
on the corner,
the 26th of May. So come one, come all. If you're a student, if you're not a student, come. Bring your family, bring your friends.
Oh, right.
Gonna drink some beer, eat some good food.
Eat some good food. Yeah, it should be fun. So,
Super
come.
excited.
Yeah, you can even just chat with us, chat with your other classmates.
Yeah.
Invite, you can drink. Right?
If you drink.
Yeah, because when we are in class, we do not get to drink. Yeah, that would be very... Sometimes, okay.
Depends on the occasion.
Special class, right?
Yeah, it's drinking class.
Drinking class, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my class, we were talking about hard liquor today.
Oh, what's your poison?
My poison, I'm fine with beer. Hard liquor is a little too hard for me, right? It's a little too fast. Right? I like beer; it's slower.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of hard liquor. I'm more of a water and beer guy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
I think
better,
so.
Better.
Yeah. Which beer do you like?
Beer, I like. I'm trying to think of. Like here, I like Japanese beer a lot actually. Like Kirin, I like Sapporo,
and Asahi.
And then in the U.S. I like Sam Adams. Europe I like Guinness. And
so those are all
German beers.
Totally different beers.
They're all different. Yeah, I like variety. I don't like cider though.
You don't like apple cider?
Or not like cider, like
apple cider,
Well, apple cider I like, but the alcoholic cider I don't like as much. I don't know.
Alcoholic apple cider? You don't like alcoholic apple cider?
Well, cider, cider is a type of the alcohol,
Okay.
Like hard cider.
Like Summersby apple cider, you don't like that.
I don't. Never mind. We're on a big tangent, but
we digress.
We'll digress. I guess we can get back to something grammatical. Gramtastic.
Grammar time.
Grammartastic. So
Mark's going to teach today because I don't like teaching this topic, so I'm passing it over to the big guy.
Yeah. So what is it? They're called relative clauses, right?
Relative clauses.
Yeah. So we'll just give some examples, and then we'll talk about how I'm doing with my examples, how we do, right?
This guy. I'm gonna get out of the way.
We just talked about how I'm going to get married, right? So there are some things, right? There are many. Oh, maybe this one. There are many things that I need to do, right? So this one we're using the word that to talk about the things, right? The things.
There are many things that
I need to do, right?
I need to do.
Yeah, I think that works as an example, right?
That's a relative clause.
Yeah, there are many things that I need to do. So we want to think about the things. Is it what things? The things that I need to do. Or I can do the same pattern. There are many new people who I want to meet. Right? So again, we have this idea of people, but we don't know what people, right? So we choose the people who I want to meet. There are many places that I want to go. There are many words that I want to learn. Right?
Yeah.
We're adding information about these words because they're not specific, right? People is not a specific word. People is anyone, right? So we want to focus on making something more clear or more specific, right? If I say the woman that I like has black hair, right? Yeah, the woman that I like. Which woman? That one. The one that I like, right? Or if you say the woman that I married.
Okay.
Right? The woman that I married is
from China.
Is from China, right? So Matt's wife from China, or the woman that I am engaged to is Singaporean, right? So we use these types of clauses. So clauses are pieces of a sentence, right? So like the who I want to meet, right? That's the piece of the sentence that we're using to add information.
That is
So-
the relative clause.
That is the relative clause, the piece of information that we're adding to make it more clear, right?
Just switch it
Yeah.
around the.
Oh yeah, trying to do that, right?
So it's not so mirrored.
Yeah. Actually, I do think these are useful, right?
Yeah, of
If
course.
it's useful, like if you're at a party and you see, I say like, who is that? Who is that? Oh, the woman who is wearing a green dress. Yeah, who is the woman who is wearing a green dress, right? We're talking about, because if I ask Matt, who's the woman who's wearing a green dress? I don't,
That's-
like, which woman? What
That's
woman?
Sheila.
That's Sheila. That's Sheila, right?
If I say
Yeah.
who is the woman,
Oh yeah, who is the woman? We don't know.
not enough information.
Not enough information. So these phrases or these clauses are a great way to add information. Right?
Yeah.
So Matt, would you add anything? Any other example you'd want to try? Or
Well, I
I
think
know this is a deep dive. You could talk about this for a long
I
time.
could
but
talk about this for a long time.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing that we need to kind of add are,
Yeah.
in this case, we use, in a relative clause, we use
yeah. Oh, relative pronouns. Okay.
certain relative pronouns. No, my back's
Okay.
to the, my back.
Oh, that's okay. I'll let you go. I'll let you go for it. Yeah.
You know, who,
Yeah.
just
okay.
gonna erase some of
That.
this stuff here.
Who, where. Right, yeah, you can, we'll make a list of relative pronouns.
Just erasing yours, Mark, your beautiful
That's
left-
okay. I'm
left-handed handwriting.
the most artistic.
Who, yeah, who we use for people,
Right?
which we use for
Right.
Things. where.
Yep. Where. For places.
There you go.
Places.
When.
When. For time.
1:30 is when we went live. 1:30 is when we went live. Okay. And the last most important one is,
Whose.
and we use this for
We call it possession or possessive.
possession.
Possession. Right? If it's, right? The man whose phone is
Black.
Whose phone is black, right?
Yeah. Whose
Right?
phone is black.
The teacher whose phone is black. There's my phone, right? The teacher whose phone is black.
Is Mark.
That's me. That's me, right? So if you, it's ownership, right? Or the.
So
the-
this, yeah, this is a, we could say, like, if you look at this barbecue party poster, we could say
Yeah.
the place where we are having the barbecue is East Coast Park, right? The
Yeah.
place,
Right.
of course, this is not so, I would just say we are having a barbecue at East Coast Park, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
the
like-
place where we are having a barbecue, not
Yeah.
not necessarily that common, right? It's not necessarily
Yeah.
that common, so. I can say to Mark, like, hey, remember I was telling you how I met my wife? Oh, that is the restaurant where I met
Okay.
her, right? That is the restaurant where I met her. So in that case,
Okay.
that's where it's going to be a little bit more natural,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's where it's going to
Like
be.
a situation where you want to add clarity,
Right.
right? Yeah, where you want to make that distinction or make it very clear for your listener the exact thing you want to say, right?
Basically, a defining relative clause. A defining relative clause gives us essential information. Info about. Well, those things, right? People, things,
about the
places,
who,
times,
where,
okay,
yeah,
about
all of these, right?
people, things, etc. Okay.
Yeah, all of
So
those.
Japan is where Mark Japan is where Mark proposed. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is essential because in this case this is the relative clause. Okay. And Mark said before a clause is actually just a sentence that has a subject,
Yeah,
a verb, and an object, right?
yeah, just a
So-
piece. Yeah,
Yeah, or it's just a sentence or a sentence fragment. But in this case,
Yeah.
right, if I just say Japan is,
What? Yeah.
There's not enough information, so I need to talk about why am I talking about Japan. I can say Japan is a country, I can say Japan is a cool place, but in this case we're talking about Japan is where Mark proposed, right? So this is the relative clause, where Mark proposed. Okay, that's the relative clause. Okay?
Adding that piece.
So I can say, for example, why do we get where, right? I can say Japan is a country.
Yeah. Country.
Mark proposed there.
Yeah.
Right? So this is basically why we use relative clauses, because we're trying to take two sentences or two pieces of information and squish them together, right? So of course Japan is a country, Mark proposed there, okay? So this is where we get the relative pronoun where, right? So we can just take these two sentences and squish them together to make one sentence, okay? So that's pretty much why we would use relative clauses, right? If we go the other way,
combining,
right? I like that book. It is purple. Okay. If I want to combine these two sentences together, I would say I like the book.
The book.
Which is purple.
Right?
So in this case, I'm just talking about the book and which, and that becomes the relative clause.
You have two pieces of information, you're adding the information into a single sentence. Yeah.
And if you watched last week, we talked about articles and the specific book.
Yep,
right?
that
it's
book.
A specific book. I like the book, which is purple.
Not all the books, just the book which is purple.
Mark, does which sound funny to you?
So which does sound funny to me. I always use that. And again, is that a American thing? No.
No, just
people
for
often,
who or which we can use that.
Yeah.
We can replace who or which with that.
Yeah, I guess it's personal preference for
in a defining.
for a lot of people. Yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe British people will do the which thing. I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, still there.
Just pulling it over.
Yeah, just pull it over.
Yeah. So. That's pretty much a defining relative clause. I can go deep into
the subtleties, right? The small differences, and
there's a lot of information that I don't want to go into. But if you do have any questions about this,
you can ask below.
Just type below.
Yeah, just English has a lot of flexibility, right? So you can use different grammar patterns to say the same thing, right? If we want to keep this very simple, we just say Mark proposed in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Mark proposed in Japan.
Mark proposed in Japan, or
Mark went to Japan and he proposed.
Mark went to Japan and proposed, right? So,
it's fine.
Right? Usually when you're speaking, don't worry about making the perfect pattern. I think just find your best way. Right? This is higher level. We teach this in intermediate level.
You might see it in pre-intermediate, but it'll be basic like this. Yeah. If you want me to get into the deeper stuff, then you got to ask me. Come down and ask me. I'll sit down and teach you. But
deeper dive.
I think we've mentioned this before when our students are studying a grammar point like this. They go into like this vacuum of like, every sentence must be a relative clause. So a pen is something which I use to write, right? No, I write with a pen. So don't try to overcomplicate your English. If this is too difficult for you, then just stick to I like that book, it is purple, right? It's kind of a weird sentence. I don't know how many books are purple.
Yeah, but this is just another English tool. This is another way you can combine ideas together very clearly for when you are speaking or writing. Yeah, but again, don't over worry about. Be like, Mark is the man who is my teacher. Mark is my teacher. Mark's my teacher. It's much clearer, right? When people are speaking, we do use this sometimes, but often we just keep this grammar very simple, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it simple, but you know,
Keep it simple.
these are formal structures that you will see from time to
Yeah.
time in news or in writing, or you know, it's a bit more formal. It's a bit more formal language.
Yeah. And like I said before, the way I usually use it is when I want to add information about something that's more vague in my mind, right? The woman who, right? We add details about a woman, details about a building, right?
Yeah.
The building that is tall and has a blue sign, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you just said the building that is tall,
Yeah.
but the building is a place.
Oh, so, oh no. So the correct grammar is what is the
No.
the build. Oh no, I'm confused now.
Oh no.
I think I opened a new can of worms.
You
Yeah.
opened a can of worms. This is the last
Oh,
thing
no.
on the page.
The building. Is that still a relative pronoun or no?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
still a relative pronoun.
The issue is that sometimes a place is a place, and
And
sometimes a
sometimes
place is a thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Or you could say, yeah, I guess, yeah, place is thing.
So
Yeah.
sometimes a place is a place, sometimes a place is a thing. So if we take like a restaurant, right? If we take,
Yeah.
okay, this is a restaurant. Okay,
Yeah. It's a
Mine.
good restaurant, right?
it's my favorite restaurant, right? A
Oh.
little 3D action there. Okay,
Ah.
this is my favorite restaurant, right? Let's say the.
This is.
Okay, so this is the restaurant. That's not enough information,
Yeah.
right? Hello, people watching.
Oh, yeah.
This is the restaurant. Okay, that's not enough information. I have to give information about the restaurant. Okay, so I can talk about this restaurant as a place, and I can talk about this restaurant as a thing. So I can use relative pronoun which, or I can use relative pronoun where. Now I can get into the intricacies
Yeah.
or the
All the
why it's a
details.
subject or an object or something like that, but
Mm.
I won't jump into that right now. But this is the restaurant where I met my wife. Okay? This is the restaurant where I met my wife. I would say something like, I met her there. Okay? I met her there.
Ah,
Okay.
right.
So this is the restaurant where I met my wife. If I'm just pointing at the restaurant, hey, I met my wife there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right? I met my wife there.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, where and there are similar. So in this case, we're talking about the restaurant as a place, which is why we
Yeah.
use there. But if this restaurant has delicious pizza,
Yeah.
okay, this restaurant has delicious pizza. We're not talking about that as a place. We're talking about it as a thing. So this is the restaurant which has delicious pizza. Okay? I can't say where has delicious pizza. It's actually a very common mistake. Okay? This is the restaurant which has delicious pizza. So if I look at the sub or the sentence before that, it or the restaurant has delicious pizza. Okay? There's no there,
Mm.
right? There's no where, there's no place. I'm just saying it as a thing.
Okay.
This thing
So the-
has delicious
That's
pizza.
a thing, yeah.
Not the place. Okay?
Okay.
Not the place. Hey, Kanako,
Okay.
you work here, but thank you for watching.
Yeah, she's
Free
good.
English lesson for you.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the restaurant.
Mhm.
Okay, we can say as a place or as a
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I met my wife. Now, how I always teach
Both.
my students
Both.
if I'm going
Yeah.
to hack hack English,
Yeah.
okay, and you're taking a test or something like that,
You want, you want to choose which one?
look for the object. If there's an object after the relative pronoun, most likely we're talking about a place. Now I can get into the object subject and
Yeah.
the relative pronoun is the object of the sentence or the subject of the sentence. I don't want to talk about that today. Here, there's no subject. Actually, which is the subject, okay? See? So in this case,
Yeah.
we don't use it. Here, where is the object
Yeah.
Okay, which is the subject. But don't think about that. That's too complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll stop. I don't.
Do you have a question?
I'm a little curious. Like, I actually don't know the full explanation for this either. Where, if you changed it to that, you could say, "This is the restaurant that I met my wife in." If you add, or that I like to go to.
In which I met my wife, right?
In which I met my wife. So,
yeah. So actually, where.
Yeah. So that's
is equal to in which.
Where and becomes in which.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is the restaurant in which I met my wife. Actually, we shouldn't end a sentence on a preposition.
And then you have the in. Yeah. So I think for speaking though, people often will use bad grammar.
So I'm going to teach everybody an idiom.
Idiom. Oh.
Okay. If this is a swimming pool, okay,
swimming.
Now we're jumping into the deep end.
Okay.
Okay. This is the deep end. We're jumping into the deep end. Mark is asking deep questions.
I threw Matt into the deep end, right? So these are even questions that, right? I'm a native speaker of English, but these are things where I use the language to say these things, but I don't know why. So sometimes when, like, that's the interesting thing about teaching, you start to learn why like even your native language, you start to learn. If you teach, like if you are a Japanese person or Korean person and you start to teach Korean, you start to learn that there are these very interesting ways that we use grammar and the way we change words, right, to change the way we say a sentence based on the word choice. So
I was talking to someone today and I said that exact thing. Native speakers, generally speaking, don't understand the intricacies of grammar. There's a misconception, there's a kind of a false thought that all native speakers can speak English, so my teacher must be a native speaker, but no, your teacher must be a qualified and experienced English teacher, because 12 years ago when I started teaching, I remember my boss said, okay, you're going to teach present simple, and I was like, cool, what is that? I was like, I had no idea what present simple was. I was fiercely studying what I needed to study, and
all of our students know what present simple is. But you're right. Before I started teaching English, things like present simple, present continuous, the perfect tenses, I had no idea.
This stuff,
present perfect, like this, like this thing where the deep end, where we talked about like where versus in which, right? And the changing of the structure of the sentence, right? We have, like, in English, like native speakers just hear it, and it's like, that sounds weird, right?
If it's wrong.
If it's wrong, it sounds weird. Yeah, but we have even native speakers have trouble explaining. That's why you have to really get an experienced teacher and find ways where, I love how Matt gave us these little examples for 1 and 2, right? He broke it down into different sentences so it's easier to see. Yeah.
But again, more commonly, I would say that restaurant has delicious.
We have that in LI. Delicious.
Come on, Facebook.
Nobody commented right now.
Nobody caught the mistake.
Kanako, what are you doing? Yeah.
Delicious pizza. Okay,
delicious
I can
pizza.
say that restaurant has delicious pizza. It's fine.
Yeah.
That is the restaurant which has delicious pizza.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say that in my life. But if you're going to be taking an IELTS test or a TOEIC test or something like that, then you have no choice.
It's good to
just have to learn. You have to learn this stuff.
Yeah, just be aware, and it won't fool you whenever you see it on a test or when you see someone writing. Right, you won't be confused by.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to get into non-defining.
No. I think that was enough grammar for the day.
That's another.
Again, if you're watching, I guess if you have any more questions or anything, this is the time to type things.
I see some people are watching.
We have some people watching now. So
Kanako's watching, but she actually joined it, which is great. There's a few other people watching as well. Any questions? Don't be shy. We can't see you.
I think we got. You can even use.
We can't see you.
There's some emoji game, right? Or what is it? I think.
I don't know. Apparently, I have these options where I can.
You can add.
I can
emoji.
I can automatically type hello or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm using
Maybe because you're that account. I can just do stuff like this. Like if I want to have a picture of a cat
blowing a
kiss, I can comment.
Boom, there it is.
And boom, there's a cat blowing a kiss.
Blowing a kiss.
Right? So that's the magic of Facebook, right? That's why we pay them the big bucks, right?
Yes, that is why we pay them the big bucks. Yeah. So I've got 6% on my battery life. So you have that much time to ask me a question.
Ask anything.
Which is not real because actually this will be live and it will also be recorded and we will post it onto our Facebook page.
Yep.
So if you have a question, you can ask anytime.
Yeah.
And Mark, I'm Matt. Mark.
This is Mark, yeah. I'm Mark.
Or Matt, or any of our teachers who are watching, we will answer your question.
Yeah.
Or if you want to just send
us to help,
a cat blowing a kiss, that's also okay.
Yeah. You can people show their love in many different ways.
They do.
Some share their ideas, some just share smiley faces.
Yes.
So, do you?
Mark, any last words on the stuff here?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
I guess maybe opinions, right? Like
that is what I like to say.
The books that I like to read are all sci-fi, right?
Okay. No fantasy.
Oh, I mean fantasy, SF, science fiction and fantasy. So,
science fiction and fantasy.
Or the movies that I like to watch, the books that I like to read.
Yeah, the drinks that I like to drink.
Yeah,
like
so
that. But again, it's
the books I like are you don't have to use these words specifically.
Yeah, we can get into omitting the pronoun and stuff like that, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, Mark.
Okay. The reason I chose this topic to talk about a little is because even my intermediate students, I showed them this, and for them, I think it was still confusing. Like it's like, what is this? Why are we using this, right? And I think today we tried to give you a little clearer explanation.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Mark, excited? Are you excited to get married?
Yeah, but it's pretty far out in the future, so we're still planning. But I'm really excited because it means I get to see my family in America again, right? I'll go back and unite with them again and see my. I have a big family in Pittsburgh in the United States, so I'll get to see them again and
those Steelers,
their families, because that's the difficult thing living on the other side of the earth.
Or easy thing.
Or the easy thing, right? Matt, you're like, it's a good thing. The easy thing or difficult thing.
Just joking, family.
Yeah, no, he loves you. He loves you. But yeah, that'll be good to see them and that's the great thing about weddings is you just get to celebrate with the people you care about.
It's a big party.
It's a big party, right? It's a way to just say we're excited for your future and we want to support you. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
So I am excited. So
okay.
So I guess that is it.
Without further ado,
we will say our goodbyes and we'll catch you next week. Again, if you have any ideas for what you want to learn about in the future, if you're in class and something is very difficult for you, or if you just want to learn about, a culture, a country, a grammar point, right? Anything we can.
A phrase, an idiom.
Anything. Right? Certain vocabulary, right? Similar words.
Why Mark wears glasses?
Why? Yeah.
You can ask us that question.
We have a whole history, right? So, all those things you can just comment right below. Again, we can't see you. We can't hear you. You have to type. Or message us, okay?
Yeah, if you're talking to your computer right now, then
stop.
Stop doing it.
Stop
it. Don't do that. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
Nice swimming pool. Mark, congratulations again.
Yeah.
Getting married. Zara, congratulations.
And we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah, bye. See you next week.
Bye-bye.